Hello, I'm Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, summertime and the crafting is easy. We'll create a cool craft for the hot weather. Then, teachers, will you have enough in retirement when you leave the classroom behind? Plus, a new grandchild. We'll update you on what's changed since you had your own little bundle of joy. And legal news you can use.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Could mom or dad use some extra help that you can't provide? Or maybe you're retired and now you have the time, energy, and desire to help others. Well, we're ready to play matchmaker. Our next guest, Janet McGarvey, is with Seniors Helping Seniors, a group that matches seniors who need help with seniors who want to help. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And you visited us a couple months ago and told us about Seniors Helping Seniors. Can you remind our viewers what the company is about?
Absolutely. We do in-home care, and that can range from anything from 24-hour care, maybe just overnights, to coming in once or twice a week and helping someone with their housekeeping, laundry, or even with their bathing or personal grooming of any sort. To handyman services. Who wants to do handyman services or lawn care, especially with the weather we're having? So we do all of those ranges of services for people.
All right, and tell us about the seniors who want to help others.
Absolutely. That is what makes us unique, is that 75 to 80% of our providers that are going into someone's home are 55 and older. Now, we all know that mom or dad doesn't necessarily want someone to come into their home because that's a very awkward situation, and they just maybe got home from the hospital and they want nothing to do with the clinical atmosphere. So to have someone that's a little bit closer to their age frame, their stories match, maybe their desires match, their physical abilities, they've been through some of that with a loved one of their own, really make a good connection and keep them comfortable, and yet open up the doors of other areas that they would need help with and wouldn't necessarily tell someone.
Are you still looking for more seniors to help work?
We are always looking for more people because, as we all know, as you were saying, matchmaking, it is kind of like dating. You know, you've got to try a few people out sometimes to see if the personalities match. So, but we try and do a very thorough job of making sure that the personalities would match from the beginning. But I'm not perfect. I know that's news to everybody, but I do the best I can. But we do have plenty of people, and we're always looking for more people with different time availabilities, areas geographically, and then also what their abilities to do.
And you do pay the people. This is not a volunteer job.
Correct, yes.
Do they need special training?
No, not necessarily. I always say that you can always train a monkey or an elephant to do anything, but you can't train someone to actually love them and to actually be caring and to know that as soon as they walk in the door. A lot of people anymore with the certain agencies, they come in and you can feel the tension because they're late or they have to get out of the job in time. Our people are there because they love and care about you.
What geographic area are we talking about?
Well, we've got new exciting news. We've just expanded again because we're growing so rapidly. And right now we're everywhere from Geauga County down to Twinsburg and then all the way up to Toledo. So all across Northeast Ohio, we're available.
And there's a support group. Tell us about that.
Yes, we have just started an Alzheimer's, with the Alzheimer's Association, an Alzheimer's support group meeting place in Lorain County. It's in Elyria. They used to have one, but they don't have one anymore. There just wasn't enough people to help facilitate it, and we're there now to help with that.
And that's the Cornerstone United Methodist Church location that's on the screen right now.
Absolutely, yes. You can feel free to call us directly, or if you want, you can always just write down that address and meet us there.
Okay, well, it's great information. Thank you for coming out and explaining it to us. We appreciate that. Is it better to give than to receive? Thanks to Seniors Helping Seniors, you don't have to pick. To give help, to get help, give Seniors Helping Seniors a call. The number's up next. The number is, if I can read this, 855 SHS Ohio, and that's 1-855-747 6446?
Correct.
Do I have that right? My eyes aren't so good. Or you can go to their website, seniorshelpingseniors.com. My thanks to Janet McGarvey for helping us with this helpful information.
Next, the hottest craft around. But first, in New England, there's a specialty on the menu called the 5 B's. If this is your decision when you dine, then when your order is up, what will you be served? There's only one right answer, and we'll fork it over when we return.
We're Gateway Title, keeping life simple. We can make it simple. We've got everything you need. See how easy selling your home can be. We're Gateway Title. We're keeping life simple.
If you order the 5 B's, believe me when I tell you that you'll be eating Boston baked beans and brown bread. But you'll have to barter for butter.
We're in the middle of summer, the season of outdoor eating, but you don't have to leave the nice table set inside. Karen Edenfeld is here with simple ideas to make your dining on the deck decorative. Karen's an inspiration specialist with Jo-Ann Fabric and Craft Stores. So thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.
And all this is so beautiful. Can I just take it home? I don't need to make any crafts at all.
No. You could, but you can make this very easily. So I'm going to show you how to do that today.
Well, please do.
What I'm starting with is some multi-purpose cloth, and it's heavy. You can feel it's like canvas.
Yeah.
It doesn't unravel. It doesn't shrink. It's very cooperative. You can sew on it. And this is sort of heavy, so it won't blow in a breeze, which is great for outside.
That's important.
We have we have a table runner. I fused some fabric on both ends just to give it a little color.
I see.
And I also made a round circular piece that might be on a round patio table. You can easily cut the circle in the in the center for the umbrella.
All right, so you actually painted this, though. This didn't come like this.
That's correct.
All right, and that's what you're going to show us.
And that's what we're going to do. So
right.
For us, we're just doing a small piece. We're going to make a little coaster.
All right.
And the idea is the stenciling. So I found a stencil.
This is what we're going to make.
Right. I found a stencil in the store that has an hibiscus, and that's just so summery. So I chose that, and we'll start with the multi-purpose cloth. I just drew the circle, left a little bit on the outside, cut the pattern, the stencil up, and used painter's tape to hold it in place. So I have some prepared for us.
So this is the one you've done for me.
Right. I'm going to have you do some leaves, and I'll do a hibiscus. So this all taped down.
All right.
And we're using the acrylic paint and a sponge. So I put a little dab on our plates.
Okay. That way I don't have to.
Right. And then just hold on to this. Dab just a little bit of paint and sort of dab around on the paper of the paper plate so you get just a little bit on. If you get too much, it'll goop underneath.
All right. We don't like goop.
We don't want to goop it.
No goop for us. Okay.
And then just press on, and I'm just sort of bouncing it along there.
Okay.
I'm going to put it down on the table and makes it a little easier.
Well, I'm showing people how easy this is. Right?
And then if I want to do the other side,
see how easy this is.
I have a little stamen piece that it would be another color, so I'm just going to use the other end, which is quite narrow.
Oh,
dip
can
it
I
in.
use another color too?
Certainly. You just dip it right in.
All right. Oh, this is so fun. Oh my gosh.
And this is a permanent paint, so it'll dry and
so if I get it on my clothes, it's permanent.
You're out of luck, right?
That's
but as long as
it's
wet, we can still get it out. So we can still wash the sponges and wash off the stencil.
All right. This is so much fun.
Now I use the same stencil design. I use the same stencil design on a tray. This is a plain wooden tray.
Oh,
simple.
Very nice.
Same thing that we did on that.
All right, so can we see how it came out?
Certainly. Just peel it off.
Peel what off?
Just peel the painter's tape off.
I got it on my finger. I am now permanently
You're permanently green.
All right. And look at this. How well mine came out.
The leaves are very interesting color.
Look at how it came out. It is beautiful here. Can you get this? Oh, it came out beautifully.
What talent.
We won't look at my real one here, which was not quite as good.
See, I told you could do this yourself.
See, anybody can do it.
Now, I also found in the store we have some hibiscus, just wooden pre-painted pieces, and wooden napkin rings. So I just glued it on. Actually, I painted the napkin ring first.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
that also weights it down. So between the cloth and the napkin rings, things won't blow around on your patio as much. It's great for entertaining.
Very nice. Okay. Well, this is great stuff.
Right?
Thank you so much. Always great information. So, if you are looking for an easy, attractive, and very usable summer craft, pencil this one in on your to-do list. My thanks to Karen Edenfield for showing us the steps. And now I have to go wash my hands, which are filled with green paint permanently.
For more great ideas and information, call Joann Fabric and Craft Stores at 1-888-739-4120 or check out their website at www.joann.com. Next, a lesson in retirement contributions. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Enjoy a sport where the work is all downhill. This week, the All-American Soapbox Derby is off and running at Derby Downs in Akron. There's no cost to enjoy these gravity races and the event's parade, rally, and celebrity appearances. To start your race for information, call 330-733-8723 or steer yourself to their website, www.aasbd.org.
Today we're in summer school. Why? Because there are many lessons for teachers to learn when it comes to understanding their retirement plan, and this course may also have you studying your own pension plan, even if you've never stood at the head of a classroom. Our instructor for today is Jim Lineweaver, a certified financial planner for the Lineweaver Financial Group. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
My pleasure.
Jim, tell us why we're in class today.
Well, what's happening is, Senate Bill 5, and there's a lot of press in the news today about all these changes that are going to be happening to public service pension plans down the road. And a lot of times people are not aware of all the options that they have in their retirement plans, and it's now more important than ever before that people pay attention to this and start taking control of their own future and maybe putting some more money away so that they don't have to rely on some of these other changes that are coming down the pipe.
All right, so, what kinds of things should people be looking at when it comes to protecting their own retirement security?
Well, what happens is teachers have a unique situation where they can actually put quite a bit of money away, if they can afford it, into multiple plans. And what this is it starts out with a 403B plan. So in the private sector, it's a 401K. In the public sector, for teachers, it's a 403B. If you're less than 50, you can put $16,500 away. Okay. And then there's special catch-up provisions and things along that nature that can actually enhance
how much can you get that 16.5 up to if you're fortunate enough to have the money to do it?
We could get it all the way up to $33,000.
Really?
You can.
All right. So if you put money into a 403B, that works like a 401K. It grows tax deferred.
It does.
And then you take it out when you need it, and hopefully it's grown over the time. Can you give us an example of how these step-ups work?
We can, because we have one for your viewer, because people that have over 15 years of service in the state teachers retirement plan have some additional benefits that they can do. So what ends up happening is, in this situation, if somebody's worked more than 15 years, they can look at the lesser of these three contributions. So it's $3,000 or $15,000 minus their prior deferrals in last year, and then also $5,000 times the number of years of service, also minus their deferrals. It's a lot of jargon, and it can be confusing. But the bottom line is, if they're working with somebody that knows how to jump through these hoops, they might be able to put an additional $3,000 catch-up away.
Let's take a specific example, if you could.
I do.
I think sometimes working through an example is helpful.
Sure. Yeah, we have one for your viewers. Here we have a person age 50. They have the 15 years in the district, so they've met their requirement. So that's going to allow them to do this $3,000 catch-up. And let's assume their income is at $70,000. Okay. So at first glance, what they're able to do is they're able to put in $16,500 for their elective deferral. Then they get a $3,000 service years catch-up, so they're at $19,500. Then they get the the additional $5,500 for the over age 50, that's a total of $25,000.
Great. Now, in addition to putting money into the 403, there's something else that can be used?
There is. If you do into a deferred compensation plan, which is a 457 plan, what ends up happening is if we just take out that over 50 catch-up deferral, we use the $16,500, people can double that and get all the way up to $33,000 in the 3 years prior to them retiring. So they can actually get a lot more money socked away. So people that may have, a spouse that works as well or dual income households, this can be a great option to not be so dependent on their pension.
Is there a 457? Is there something similar for private employees like there are? 401k is similar to a 403b?
Well, for private enterprise, well, unfortunately, they're going to be a little bit more restricted. So private companies can get the $16,500 and get all the way up to $22,000, but they don't have these additional catch-ups.
So teachers get a break, and they should consider using them.
They really should, in all public service.
All public servants.
They can have some good advantages.
Great information. Thanks, Jim. Very important. There are some great retirement savings options out there, but they aren't widely known and are not easily understood. These are complicated. So to ace your retirement test, be sure to get a good study buddy like Jim Lineweaver to be sure that you're making the right decisions. Give Jim a call. His number's up next.
To find out more, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, great tips for grandparents. It's time to get up and go. An exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hi, I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to do leg raises to work our abdominal muscles. You ready to go, Armand? All right.
I'm doing the sleeper style.
All right, we got our mats laid out here. We're going to lay down flat on the mat with our palms and our hands straight to our side, palms down. Excellent. Keeping your feet together, and what I want you to do is I want you to simply raise your legs as high off the ground as you can. Perfect. Let them drop down. Do not touch the ground. Oh, there it is. Right back up in the air.
They don't stay.
Beautiful. Nice, slow, controlled movements always.
Beautiful. Good job. Armand has it down. Oh, there's one leg. This is going to work your lower abdominal muscles to keep your core nice and strong, everybody. Now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
Your child now has a child. That means you've joined the ranks of devoted grandparents everywhere. But times have changed since you raised your own brood, so grandmother or father may not always know best. Carolyn Stolberg's here to bring us into the 21st century of grandparenting. She's the founder and executive director of the Alexandria School, a school that trains nannies and newborn specialists. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So do we really have to take a class to learn how to be a grandparent?
Oh, there are some things grandparents just know instinctively. They know how to love and care for this child, but there are new research studies, pieces of equipment, safety issues the grandparents might not be aware of.
But kids are kids. They've always been kids. They'll always be kids. What do grandparents need to know?
Grandparents know a lot just instinctively. For example, play. They know that they learn through play and that babies, children will love a box before they love what's in it. But yet there are new research studies. For example, they're talking about the idea that it's not always intelligence that makes a child grow up to be a happy person. It's maybe not praising them for doing a project. It is praising them for the process so that someone can grow up and be successful having fallen a bit, and to know that if you say to them, you're not the best artist because they drew a picture, but good choice of color, or I like the way you filled the page. Praise a child for process, not just for being. And as a grandparent myself, that's what you want to do. You want to tell them how special they are just because they are.
Are there safety things that have changed that we need to know about now as a grandparent that aren't the same as when we were raising our own kids?
And that's probably a large part of the class. That's one of the things we address a lot. Grandparents will come in and say, well, I had my child in the front seat in a car seat backwards, or this is the crib that I raised all my children in. Why can't my grandchild sleep in that crib? Or we used a walker. Why can't I use that walker for my grandchild?
Or bumpers.
Bumpers, yes, the bare naked crib. The crib is a very changed environment to sleep in.
All right, so what's wrong with all those comments you were using?
The research has shown that a walker is probably one of the most dangerous pieces of equipment. Or, for example, a car seat, it needs to be in the back seat, and it probably is best in the middle. And current thought is that a child should be in a car seat backwards, now up to 2 years. With SIDS and safe sleep, we know a bare naked crib is the best way to prevent sleep-related deaths, meaning no bumpers, no lovey, no books. And that's very hard to adjust to, and children need to be on their backs, put to sleep on their backs.
So, you know, these safety issues are key. What do you advise as far as giving advice to the new parents?
As far as giving advice, as long as it isn't something that has to do with safety. Advice is just that from a grandparent. Advice. I hold up a roll of duct tape and I say, pretend you're putting this on their mouth. So if it isn't harmful to the child, as a grandparent, we need to have that duct tape sort of over our mouth and say, really? And then put it back, because new parents are very well read. They also need to stumble and fall a bit, and as long as it isn't harmful.
And you offer a grandparent class.
Yes.
Is that how do we find out? Call your number that we're going to give?
Call our number. The next class, they're always on Wednesdays in the month. Our next class is July 20th at 6:30 to 9:30, and we are on the website, and you can always call our number.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Good information. Your job as a grandparent is to enjoy your grandchild. It's your child's job to take care of that new bundle of joy. To learn more about the new world of grandparenting and classes you can take to understand it all, give Carolyn a call. Her number's up next.
For more information, call the Alexandria School at 440-914-0044 or click to their website, www.alexandria-school.com. Next, legal news you can use.
Welcome to Breckenridge Village, a continuing care retirement community conveniently located in historic Willoughby, Ohio. Whether it's a luxury apartment, a spacious ranch home, or newly built brownstones, it's all here, with the added security of knowing more care is available when you need it. Breckenridge Village offers an exciting and upbeat lifestyle, and the food is fabulous, and our staff makes you their #1 priority. Learn more about Breckenridge Village and come see our new Veal Wellness and Aquatic Center.
If you missed any of the phone numbers we gave, don't miss this second chance to write them down. Get a pen and paper, because right now we're going to list all of the phone numbers from our guests, and then I'll be back to tell you how to cut taxes on your IRA distributions. Your IRAs, 403Bs, and 401Ks, they've been growing without taxes for years. That's why they're so great. But once you hit 70 and a half, you have to start taking minimum distributions. That's when the taxes start, and the hit can be huge. But if you know the rules, you may be able to save thousands and thousands of dollars. Here to explain how to get the maximum from minimum distributions is my law partner, Mike Solomon. Thanks for joining us, Mike.
Hi, Armin.
Mike, most advisors suggest waiting to take money out from your IRA or 401k until as late as possible. Is that smart?
Well, generally the answer is yes. You'd like to keep the money in an IRA or 403B or 401k to defer the taxation as long as possible. Sometimes, though, it doesn't make sense.
Why not?
Well, when you turn 70 and a half, that's the magic time period, you have to take out your first minimum distribution. And you have two choices the first time. You can take one out, let's say you turn 70 and a half in 2011. You take one out in 2011 and take one out in 2012. Okay. Or the first time around, you can wait and delay them and take both out in 2012. Okay. Now, normally you'd say, oh, let me defer to 2012. I defer taxes. But you're lumping them together, you may be kicking yourself into a higher income tax bracket. And if you do that, you end up paying some more taxes. So it's not always the best thing to defer. You need to look at your particular situation and see if it makes sense.
Are there other ways to cut IRA taxes?
Well, another option is when you turn 59 and a half, you can start taking money out of your retirement plans without any penalties.
59.
59, right, 59 and a half. So when you start taking that out, you still have to pay income taxes on it, but you may be able to spread it out over many years and at lower tax brackets than if you wait until you turn 70 and a half and start taking out more at that time. Now, again, the disadvantage is you're taking the money out now, paying taxes, rather than letting it defer and grow tax defer over the years.
So because you keep it at a lower level, your minimum distributions will be less.
That's right.
All right. And is there any added benefit to starting so early?
Yeah, this is an important one. Many people, when they're retire, let's say they retire at 60, 61 or so, they defer their retirement plan distributions till 70 and a half, and they start taking Social Security as early as they can. And that means, rather than take their retirement plan, the other option is to start taking your retirement plans and defer your Social Security as long as possible. Every year you wait, you click on another 8% onto your Social Security benefit.
Wow.
So it makes sense to take the IRA now and defer your Social Security benefits as long as you can.
So you may be able to pay less tax and increase your Social Security.
That's right.
By early start. Good advice. The general rule of thumb is to delay distributions from your IRAs and 401ks for as long as possible. And that works for lots of folks. But for some, starting your IRA distributions earlier can put lots more money in your pocket. My thanks to Mike Solomon for revealing these little-known but very helpful strategies.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner & Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. Come on back next week for more great ways, information, and advice to help you out. In the meantime, please make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.